Is Brady hurt?
No, he's better now.
Okay.
You know, the knee injury that he suffered against Tennessee on the double pass where he tweaked his knee.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my former colleague, good friend, and your NFL Network insider, Mike Giardi, speculated that it might be an MCL. That MCL has healed to the point where he's off the injury list.
Okay.
You know, he's off the injury report.
Okay, so he's fine.
So he ain't hurt.
All right, he's not hurt. And Gronk, is he at the end? I mean, is this the end of Gronk?
Yes.
Okay. Now,
you're asking me what my feeling is? Yes. Asking me to report that with a byline saying that I have a source saying that? No.
Nice.
But he still isn't a happy camper.
What do you mean?
At all. Just isn't having a good time. Last year we reported on the fact that he's, you know, it's not been an enjoyable season, and this year it's similar, but different in that health is again an issue for him, whereas it was not in 2017.
So
you know, he feels a little bit taken advantage of in the contract stuff in the off season. The fact that they gave him an incentive-laden contract, and now he's had no prayer of hitting it. He feels he's been underpaid and taken advantage of, and it ain't a lot of fun. So it's in his head.
So
not his problems are in his head, but his productivity, I think, as everybody's is often tied to how do you feel about going to work. Right now, not great.
So 2019 Gronk is fill in the blank. Where?
Sitting there saying, should I really have just stepped aside like this? Because what's interesting is if he does decide to retire, well, the Patriots release him, and he says, I'm not going to play anywhere but except with Tom Brady. You know, there will be a home for him, but I don't think he's going to get more money than he made now. He is entering a very difficult period, I think, because his identity is tied to what he's done, and it's been compromised. And he's only 29. So it's beyond prediction, really.
And then at what point, Tom, looking over the steering wheel here, does the Brady future conversation come up? Because there's been all that conversation last year out of the Seth Wickersham story and everything that went down in the offseason, pleading the fifth and all that business. Got swept under the rug or is, in fact, completely evaporated. I don't know. Maybe you could fill in the blanks there. But what about him? When do we hit that?
Yeah, they've done a much better job, Rich, of coming to, I guess, an uneasy truce. 2017 was a season in which I think Tom was not really proactive in telling the team a number of different things that he wanted to explore after he won his 5th Super Bowl. And I think there was pushback from Bill Belichick specifically and the rest of the coaches as to, what's going on? What are we doing here? This is not how we've done it in the past. That led to the kind of the pissing contest between player and coach that lasted throughout the season. But they're both not the most confrontational people. So they never got it aired out. Whether or not they got it aired out necessarily, I think they've come to a truce in that, all right, both of us could have done stuff differently, and they're in a better spot. But I still think that the evidence remains that he's an older quarterback. They have no answer in-house as a successor. And while what he is surrounded by, and Josh Gordon even being on the team is actually a byproduct and a symptom of what Brady's been surrounded by, which was not that much, you still have to look at, is he going to make it to 45? He's entering the final year of his contract. Do we want to re-up with him further? Or do we need to get to somebody who can make the players around him better by his own mobility in the pocket, who costs less money? So those are the conversations that they're going to have once the final whistle sounds and there's confetti or not.
So when? February, March, April, draft time? What do you think? When does that come to a head?
Draft time.
Okay.
Draft time. I wouldn't.
Or it depends on what happens over the next few weeks too, right, Tom? I mean, I would imagine.
Yeah, a lot of it will. Does Tom want to come back? Does Tom look at it the way he does? Does Josh McDaniels want to come back? Who will Tom be working with if Josh decides he wants to take an opportunity elsewhere? So is Gronk back? I mean, is Julian Edelman back? I mean, that's why I wrote a few weeks ago that there's a lot of bills coming due. Trey Flowers is their best defensive player in many ways. He's a free agent. He might make $80 million. You know, the Patriots going to match that. They don't have any tight ends beyond Gronk. That's an issue. They don't have really any wide receivers. That's an issue. You got a 41-year-old quarterback. I mean, a lot of bills are coming due, as I've written.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.